Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai. We'll go on with chapter 11 of book 12, reading more about the Mani Dvipa. Next to this enclosure wall comes the 10th enclosure wall. It's red like the kumkum and rising sun. It's 10 yojanas high. All its ground, entrance gates, and temples and airborne are all made of this red material. Within this resides the 64 kalas, or sub-saktis, adorned with various ornaments and holding weapons in their hands. Each of them has a separate loka, or region, allotted, and within this loka has got her own formidable weapons, vehicles, families, and their leaders, or governors. All of them have got luminous faces and long, lolling tongues. Fire is always coming out of their faces. The eyes of them are red with anger. They are uttering, "We will drink all the water in the strife of the oceans. We will annihilate fire. Today we will devour the whole universe." All of them have got bows and arrows in their hands, and all are eager to fight. The hairs on their heads are all tawny, and they stand upwards. Each of them has 100 forces under them. What more to say than each of them has got power to destroy 100,000 brahmanas, and their 100 forces can also do the same. There is nothing that is not doable by them. All the ground, trees, tanks, houses, and pillars, and all other things are red and built of this. So next comes this 11th enclosure, and it's 10 yojanas high, and it is lovely like the blown java flower. Here dwell the 32 Mahashaktis, adorned with various ornaments and furnished with various weapons. They're also very eager to fight and are always muttering things like, "Pierce him, beat him." They are inordinately powerful. It is impossible to describe that. It seems that each Shakti can easily destroy 100,000 brahmana. They have innumerable chariots and weapons and are very formidable. There is no chance that they would ever be defeated. Next to this enclosure comes the enclosure made of diamonds. It is 10 yojanas high, and on all sides there are entrance gates. The doors are hinged with nice mechanisms. Nice new diamond trees exist everywhere. All the roads and tanks and spaces for watering the roots and wells, reservoirs, and other musical instruments are all made of diamonds. Here dwells Sri Bhuvaneshwari Devi with her attendants, O king. Each of them has a lot of attendants. All of them are proud of their beauty. Some of them are holding fans, drinking water, umbrellas, looking glasses, various clothing, flowers, and other wonderful things. Some are ready to do the painting work and anxious to shampoo the feet. Some are eager to make her wear ornaments, and some are anxious to put garlands on her neck. Each is adorned with various ornaments and skilled in all activities. When they walk to and fro with canes and rods in their hands in the service of the Devi, they look as if lightning flashes glimmer on all. On the outer portion of the enclosure wall of the 8 sides are situated the dwelling houses of these 8 Shaktis, and they're always full of various weapons and vehicles. Next to the diamond enclosure comes the 13th enclosure wall made of Vidra Amani. It's 10 yojanas high. There are entrance gates and doorways on the 4 sides. The courts inside the houses, the big roads, and everything and rivers and even the sands are all made of Vaiduryamani. One of the 8 sides resides the 8 Maitrika Brahmi and with their hosts. These matrikas represent the sum total of the individual matrikas in every Brahmata. Now hear their names: Brahmi, Maheshwari, Kamari, Vaishnavi, Varhari, Indrani, Chamunda, and Mahalakshmi. Their forms are like those of Brahma and Rudra and others. They are always engaged in doing good to the universe and reside there with their own weapons and vehicles. At the four gates, the various vehicles of Bhagavati remain always fully equipped. Somewhere there are kotis and kotis of elephants. At some places there are kotis of horses, and others there's camps and houses, swans and lions. At other places there are peacocks and bulls and various other fully equipped and arranged in due order. Similarly, the above-mentioned animals are yokes to kotis and kotis of chariots. There are coachmen at every place flagged and are flooding their flags high so as to reach the heavens, and thus they are adding beauty. At other places, the aerial cars are arranged in rows, and countless with various sounding instruments in the cars are arranged with flags also soaring up to the heavens. O King, next comes the 14th enclosure, which is built of Indrani Lamani. Its height is 10 yojanas. The cord inside are all of the same materials. There is here a lotus consisting of 16 petals, extending so many yojanas in width and shining like the second Sudarsana chakra. On these 16 petals resides the 16 Saktis of Bhagavati with their host. Now I'm mentioning the names of these here: Karali, Vikarali, Uma, Saraswati, Lakshmi, Shriti, Smitri, Driti, Shraddha, Meta, Mata, Kanta, Agra. These are the 16 Shaktis. They all are dark blue, of the color of the fresh rain cloud. They wield in their hands axes and shields. It seems they are ever eager to fight, O King. These Shaktis are the rulers of all the separate Shaktis of the other Brahmatas. These are the forces of Sri Devi, being strengthened by the Devi strength. These are always surrounded by various chariots and forces, and various Shaktis follow them. If they like, they can cause a great agitation in the whole universe. Now, next to this enclosure is made of pearls, very wide and 10 yojanas. The cord inside its space trees are built of pearls. Within the enclosure, there's a lotus with 8 petals. On these petals reside the 8 Shaktis, advisors and ministers of the Devi. Their appearance, weapons, and dresses, everything is like Sri Devi. Their duty is to inform the Devi of what is going on in the Brahmanas. They are skilled in all sciences and arts and clever in all actions. They are very clever, skillful, and clever in knowing beforehand the desires and intentions of Sri Devi, and they perform those things accordingly. Each one of them has many other Shaktis who also live here. By their Yana Shakti, they all are known. They know all the news concerning the jivas in every Brahmata. They look red like the rising sun, and in their 4 hands they hold noose, goad, and signs of granting boons and no fear. At every instant they inform Sri Devi of all the events of the Brahmata. Next to this comes the 16th enclosure wall made of marakata, or emeralds. It is 10 yojanas high, and the houses and everything are built of emeralds. Here exist all the good objects of enjoyments. This is hexagonal and the yantra shape, and at every corner resides the devas. On the eastern corner resides a 4-faced Brahma. He lives with Gayatri Devi. He holds Kamandal, rosary signs indicating no fear, and a rod. The Devi Gayatri is also decorated with these. Here, all the Vedas, Smritis, and Puranas and various weapons exist incarnate in their respective forms. all avatars of Brahma, Gayatri, and Vyatis that exist in the Brahmana, all live here. On the southwest corner, Mahavishnu lives with Savitri. He holds the conch shell, disc, club, and lotus. Savitri has got all of these as well. And all the avatars of Vishnu that exist in every Brahmana live there as well. On the northwest corner exists Maharudra with Saraswati. Both of them hold in their hands parasu, rosary, signs granting boons and no fears. All the avatars of Rudra and Parvati, Gauri, etc., facing south that exist in the Brahmanas dwell here. On the southeast corner, the Lord of Wealth, Kubara, Bhagavati, surrounded by roads and shops, reside here with Mahalakshmi and his host, the jar of jewels, Mani Karandika. On the western corner exists Madana with Rati, holding noose, goad, bow, and arrow. All his amorous attendants reside here, incarnate in their forms. On the northeastern corner resides always the great hero Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, holding noose and gold with his Pusti Devi. All the vibhutis of Ganesh that exist in the universe reside here. What more to say than that Brahma and the other devas and devis here represent the sum total of all the Brahmas and the devas and the devis that exist in all the Brahmanas. These all worship Sri Bhagavati, remaining in their own sphere respectively. O king, next comes the 17th enclosure wall made of Prabala. It is all red like saffron and is 100 yojanas high. As before, the court inside is also made of the same material. The goddess of the 5 elements resides here. The colors and lusters of the bodies of the goddesses resemble those of the elements over which they preside respectively. All of them are proud of their youth and hold in their 4 hands noose, goad, and signs granting boons and no fear. They are dressed like the Sri Devi and reside here always. Next to this comes the 18th enclosure wall built of 9 jewels. It is many yojanas wide. The enclosure wall is superior to all the others and is higher also. On 4 sides, there exist innumerable houses, tanks, reservoirs, all built of these 9 jewels. They belong to the Devi. Then 10 Mahavidyas, etc., of Sri Devi, and the Mahabidas, that is, they're all the avatars, all dwell here with their respective vahanas and other weapons and ornaments. All the avatars of Sri Devi for the killing of the demons and for showing favor to the devotees live here. They live here with their devatas, vahanas, and ornaments, respectively. Here live also the 7 kotis of devis presiding over the Mahamantras, all brilliant and fair like the koti suns. Next to this enclosure wall comes the chief and crowning palace of Sri Devi, built of many gems. All the articles within them are also built of these gems. Within this palace are seen hundreds and thousands of pillars. The luster and brilliance of these pillars is so strong that no articles within this palace are visible to the eye. Here ends the 11th chapter on the description of the enclosure walls built on Manidvipa. In the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Veda Vyasa. Jai Mahamaya Ki Jai.